Hello everybody and welcome back to On a Creek. Today we're going to be revisiting our worms, and we're going to start to see is this experiment working, what we feed them, and how they drink. Now I know this video just came out last Friday, but that video was actually filmed on the 14th of November. Today is December 10th, so they've been in this habitat for almost a month now. So we're going to really get an idea on how our experiment is going, and moving forward, is it going to work? I'm also going to feed them today and give them some water, so you can see how I do that as well. If you want to know how Ace is doing and how Bonnie's doing, we're going to do an update at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned to the end if that's what you're interested in. There's a little bit of background noise with the dogs getting restless. We've got them trying to sit nicely. He is a puppy, but there may be a little puppy background noise for this video. So stay tuned, guys. This one's going to be good. Alright guys, so today is December 10th. The worms went in here on 11/14/19. We put in 9 worms. I have not opened this container since that day. It has sat in the bottom of a closet for almost a month. And we're going to see, one, are they still alive? And if they are still alive, we're going to see how they're doing. We're going to look at the habitat, see how it's doing, and we might stir the dirt around a little bit. We're also going to be feeding them and giving them water. So without further ado, let's take a look. I'm going to be using my phone as a second camera on this one, or at least I'm going to try that, and we'll see how it comes out in the main video. So that should give you guys a better perspective and a closer view on what's going on. So there we go. So we're going to open this up and see. Oh, I seen a worm move. Alright. So if you remember correctly, I'll find somewhere to put this here. We put in some carrots. We put in the newspaper, the topsoil. If you didn't watch the original video, then I will put a link here in the description for you to see how we got this whole thing started. But basically what I'm doing is I have some paper in here. This is the retained moisture, and I believe that they'll eat that a little bit. But the dirt here, yep, the dirt is a little dry. So if you can see here, the dirt, it is a little dry. So we're going to be adding some moisture. But there is a worm there, and he is very much alive. Very much alive. Okay, so from my first impression here, there's definitely worms that are alive. There's some moisture in the paper. The dirt's a little dry. So we're going to be adding some moisture. There's definitely some carrot left in here, and it looks like they're definitely eating the carrot, because I can tell. So the first thing I want to do is add some moisture into their habitat. So I think it's very important that this stays moist. I'm sure that it's what that they eat, and I think the best bet is I'm going to move this paper because I want to get it into the dirt. I might do a couple of glasses and have my beautiful assistant help me with that. But I will be moistening the newspaper as well. But I don't want to moisten the newspaper too much. Oh, there's one. There's a big worm right there. See, it seems like most of the worms are on top of the dirt, but under the paper. So I wonder if that's because the dirt is so dry. So we're going to be, oop, I'm spilling here. So I'm using this to really add some moisture into that dirt. If my beautiful assistant would be so nice to put some more water in there. And while she does that, I'm going to move the newspaper now to the other side. Oh, we tried to have an escape artist. And I want to get some moisture in the other side. Now I really want that dirt to soak up that water. So then I'm going to give some moisture to the paper. One more, please. So from first glance here, they're actually pretty healthy. They seem to be moving around. Alright, so I got a little more water. I'm going to get this paper wet, and I'm going to give it a little more here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and make sure I didn't flood out the bottom, and I did not. So I'm mixing this dirt up. I'm getting the water move around inside there. I want the dirt to really soak up the water. I don't want it to be dry, but I don't want it to be too wet, and I actually may have gotten this a little bit too wet now. Oh no, there's more dry dirt up here. So if I do have excess water, I'll just pour it out. But I'm pretty sure I'm in good shape. Even though I'm stirring this up, there is quite a bit of water in here. I probably should have stuck with 1 cup. But that's okay, I'll use the water to saturate everything. And then I'll go over to the sink and I'll get rid of the excess. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the excess because I did put a little too much. So that's the lesson learned, is you don't want to put too much water. If you can see here, what happened is it's pooling in there, and we don't want that. We want the soil to be damp, but we don't want standing water. So I'm going to go to the sink and take care of that. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I did is I just drained out the excess water. All the worms are still in here, and I took some dry, I had some leftover napkins, and I'm going to stir this in to help absorb some of the excess water. But now the consistency, I think, is pretty perfect. It's like mud. There's definitely some water in there, but it'll dry down over the next few months as they sit. So we're mixing that in. I'm going to put this in here. Now the worms won't drown or anything. It's just no different than if it rained. They'll come to the top and they'll sit on the top until it dries down some. There's still some pretty dry clumps of dirt in here that will slowly absorb the water. And there we go. So take a look. See, the worms are coming to the top. They're all still okay. Alright. But there is some moisture in there now. This still may be a little too much, but there's really not much I can do about it now. So we're going to call that good, and we're going to see what it does. So hopefully this will dry up some, and it'll turn out to be perfect. So like I said, there's still dry clumps in here that will absorb some of this moisture. Right there's a dry piece, and it will help them be able to move a little easier through the dirt. I might try and get some leaves to put in here. I know I've got this paper in here now. Let's put some paper down on this side. So I'm using a plastic spoon as a digging utensil. Got one trying to escape. So they seem to be happy now. They're still going in the mud. They're going down, so I don't think there's too much water in here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to feed them. Now I started with some carrot. I still see a few little carrot shards, but a lot of that's gone already, so that means that's good. That's that they were eating that. Another thing that I read is that worms enjoy coffee grounds. I am not a coffee drinker, so what I did is, while I was at work, where we have a Keurig, I've been asking people to save me these little K-cups, and I pretty much just tore the top open and took the grounds out, and I got myself a pretty healthy dose of grounds, and I'm going to sprinkle these in here. And the worms can munch on it. So this is a pretty substantial bunch of coffee grounds in here. I think that that's plenty of worm food for now. And it'll just sit up here on the top, and they'll be able to come up and eat it as they please. So after about a month, I'd say the worms are doing pretty good. With this amount of water that I just put in here, I doubt that I'll have to put water in it again for a while. I want the soil to kind of dry out a little bit. I may have overdid it some. But all in all, the worms are alive, and they're healthy, and they seem to be happy so far. So we're doing our job. So as of the first month and the first check, I'd say we're doing job well done. And this isn't really that hard. You know, it cost me a few bucks for the plastic container. It cost me a couple dollars for the bag of topsoil. And I didn't even use the whole bag, so you could technically use, you know, the bag somewhere else in the yard, the rest of it. Or you could probably even put good, if you had good topsoil somewhere in your yard, you could put a scoop in, break it up, and use that. But so far so good. And I'd say the worm project is doing really well. So I'm going to put this lid back on here. And we're going to put them back in the closet. They like cool, dark areas. So at the bottom of a closet with an exterior wall. And it's a closet that I rarely open. So it stays pretty dark in there. And we're going to see what they do here. Because I just did all this water, I'll probably check them again. Maybe next week I'll put out another video on an update on this. There's not a whole lot going on fishing-wise. It's pretty cold and it's snowy. And we're in Michigan, so that's what we're doing right now. So thanks for watching this part. And we're going to get Ace over here. And we'll do a little update on him. Ace is now been with us for a couple of weeks. Come here, buddy. And he's about doubled in size. He's sassy as all get out. And he's starting to learn his place in our house. Him and Bonnie aren't super friends yet. But, oh, he's getting too big to hold. That's for sure. He likes toys and he likes to play. And he's starting to learn some tricks in his manners, but nevertheless, he is still a puppy. And he's a cute one at that. His colors are starting to really come in on his face. Oh, he's sleepy. He's been playing all day. And all in all, he's been a great dog for us. So we're hoping here that him and Bonnie are really close to becoming good friends. He's good with Bonnie, but Bonnie's still been a little unsure. You know, she's 7 years old now, and he's got all this puppy energy, and she wants nothing to do with it. But I think he's growing on her a little bit, and he's definitely becoming a part of the Fender family. So that's it for today's episode. I want to thank you guys for watching on the creek, and stay tuned. We got some worm updates coming if you're really interested in this. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this section. it has the potential to really do a good job of saving me some money. So I'm excited to see how this comes out. And hopefully it helps some of you guys out there as well. So thanks for watching on the creek. And remember, as always, get out and live. See you next time.